All right, Third Rail Thursdays. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the live stream. I'm Govier Go Home. We've got already some people waiting, and just gonna have a few more people probably jumping in very shortly. Do this every single week. The Third Rail Thursday crew. Normally, first week of the month, it's Dave Co. Then second week is me, Govier Go Home. Third week is normally M&M Rails. And then the last week of the month is GVO After Dark, where we all get together, poke fun at each other, talk about the hobby, and everything relating to model trains and trains in general. So we had an extra week this month, and I got pushed, got bumped. That's okay, because we got a good solid, was it 12 hours out of Mark last week? If you were watching M&M's live, he ran probably almost right up until midnight, which kudos to him. My bedtime is way earlier, but no, it's been very stressful, especially with the everything going on. My kids are homeschooling now and whatnot, and yeah, so it's minimal fun time for me around here. So I think I'll be doing some work on the layout tonight, and you guys can watch and have fun and criticize me as I go. That's why we have the chat up there. And speaking of the chat, we've got M&M Rails in the chat, Bubs, Dave, Adam, OVR Trains, what up, Lauren? Justin, Spit Rock, Late Night Model Railroad, Ontario Modeler. Yeah, we've got lots of people that are joining in, and there'll probably be people coming and going all night long. So a couple of things before we start, because I am going to do some work tonight. First off, I just want to let you guys know, and I'm going to do a share screen here. I'm going to do two different share screens. I'm going to do this first one. There we go. Bam. Okay. Welcome to the Teespring store for Govier Go Home. And basically what we got here, we've got some merch. And basically, if you guys ever want to show some support, show some love, I've got some awesome shirts and hoodies here. I'm actually rocking, which one? This one right now. This the classic tee, the yard work tee, and that the other guys have those as well. And new this year, we've got the Switch, the GVO After Dark Switch, and then we've got the hoodies, the shirts, the mugs, and whatnot. Again, everything that you purchase, it just goes right back into the show that we throw every month, and we love the support. And we also look cool doing it. Yeah. Hey, Dwight, how's it going? All right, so I'm going to put the link down there if anybody wants to check out those shirts or hoodies. And let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Next up. Now, if you guys have Facebook, now I know not everybody does, but if you do have Facebook, I really hope that you guys saw the live earlier with Lauren from Otter Valley, and he was with the guys from Intermountain, and they were showing off their brand new auto racks. And I'm just gonna take you over here to the Facebook page real quick for Otter Valley. All right. Get rid of that. Okay. So Lauren, actually, he has a couple of custom runs. Now, you guys know that we have talked about stuff like this in the past. He's had the LRC cars that I did work with him on. And also, there's a snow plow. There's a couple of locomotives that are coming out. I believe they're RS-18s. And yeah, there's been the Atlas, what were they, GP9s in the Ontario Southland. So now we've got some auto racks from Intermountain, and there's a number. There's about 6 numbers in the CN, and there's 6 numbers in the CP. And I'm just going to give you a close-up look here, and you can see all the detail, how awesome these really are. I believe there's 6 numbers of each. And this is the CN. Look at that detail. These are awesome looking cars, and I can't say enough good things about these because honestly, like, so nice. Let me see if I can go full screen with that. Bear with me for a moment. Bam. Okay, there we go. That seems better. So yeah, so if you guys are interested, I know that they've got a bunch of these on hand still, and you can order yours right from the website, ovrtrains.com. And there was a couple of different ends to them. I know a lot of people were questioning that, but yeah, there's a couple of different ends, and they are road number specific. All the rivets and grab irons, they are truly an awesome car. Even the brake wheel chain down there, look at that. That's awesome. Some great detail went into making these cars. Let's see here. So we've also got, I'm going to show you the CP, which should be just here. Now I know what you're thinking. Salmon? No, these are actually, they're really faded cars. That's what happens. They're out in the sun all day. They meet the elements, and yeah, that's what happens. And if you look up this car, it's prototypical. And we're just taking a look here at the side, right in the middle, and then we've got the end of the car. Again, great looking cars. Oh, that's an E. All right, and if you guys want to get yours, you can always go to ovrtrains.com. And I think we might have one next week for the GVO After Dark show. So definitely you'll want to come by next week when I have my co-host here with me, and we can talk. I know that there's going to be a few things that are going to be coming in the mail for me that I've ordered. So there's going to be lots of things to show and talk about. Yeah, so that was just my little spiel for for a little bit there, and I'll probably go back and check those out again after. But I'm really excited to see more new products coming out. It was a very, let's be honest, it was a very rough start to the year. Last couple of months, I haven't really seen too much that I've been crazy about. You know, there's those models that you're like, I gotta have those. Hasn't been too much. But if we've learned anything from the live with Intermountain, I mean, they've got cylindrical hoppers that are on the water right now, and they're the Canadian ones, the Alberta Take a Break, and also the fact that the Alberta Take a Break ones have actual Canadian city names on them. Like, you know, so I'm very excited to see those. And let's face it, I could use a few more. So, but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to those coming out, and those should be out next month. But let's see here. Did anybody else join the chat? Bubs, Mark, how's it going? And Ontario Modeler, K-Town Rail fan, how's it going? Dennis, how's it going? those are beautiful auto racks. I almost wish I had an auto rack industry. Now I've visited the HOTRAC, or the HO Tracker Ottawa HOTRAC modular layout club. That was the word I was looking for, club. And there's a gentleman there. He actually has a module, and his backdrop, he did a full-on container ship backdrop. It's not completely three-dimensional, but it still works. And basically, it's a huge parking lot with all the cars in their suggestive places with, I think it was 2 tracks that come right in. You film with auto carriers, and then you've got the loading platforms at the ends of the track. And it is such a good-looking module. And I know if Brandon is in the chat there, he can testify. So, yeah, it's so many things that you can do with those. And I really wish I had space for another major industry like cars, but unfortunately. But yeah, so I believe that there was 6 different road numbers of the CP and 6 different road numbers of the CN, and they're all different numbers. So I think I said that. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Roy. Hello, Roy. How's it going? So yeah, let's do some work. So I've been busy this past month. Now we probably won't get a full layout update for another 2 weeks, unfortunately, because I always do it the first week of the new month, and then that's my layout update. I do a full lap of this place and show you all the things that I've been working on, all the things that I need to work on, and whatever's in between. So got this whole side here behind me. It's all lit up. It's ready to go because I've been hard at work. You can see that the fascia is actually, it's all painted. I put my wife to work, and she doesn't mind doing that stuff. And she did the entire fascia behind me here. And there's a place just over here, right in front of the bridges on this side of the island here, on that side. And basically, she painted it all black for me. It's all good to go. And then I did a lot of filling it in, and yeah, I did some greenery. You can see the greenery back there. And then I ran out of stuff. Did I do that live? Can't even remember. I can't even remember if I did that live. But either way, I'm going to pull the camera around here, and then I'm going to do some work. Talk amongst yourselves. And if you got questions, comments, and all that, throw them up in the chat. Also, Sunday mornings. Now, last Sunday morning, I did a live, and I'm going to continuously do this live going forward. So every Sunday morning, 10 a.m., I go to about 12 noon. I might go a little bit further, but either way, I just build kits. I build kits live. And this past Sunday, I was building a kit, and Brandon, which is Bub031, he hopped on, and he was weathering some coal cars and talked about it. He showed his process. A lot of people had a lot of great questions, and I appreciate everybody coming out to that. And we're going to be going strong again this Sunday as well. And we have actually Big CW, Chris Dub. he's gonna join us as well. And if you've ever seen any of his detailing stuff, I mean, like, I'm talking about like vending machines in train stations that are fully detailed in interior lighting and all that stuff. He's going to be, he's probably going to be live with us. So he's going to jump on, and feel free to ask questions and whatnot. So, and he did one of the weeks this month because it was an extra week. He did a live over on his channel. So you can always go over to his channel because he'll be filling in here and there. And I know that there's another month coming up that there's 5 Thursdays. So I'm hoping that he joins us again. So, but anyways, I'm going to get to work. So I'm here. I'm somewhat paying attention to the chat, but I'm also hard at work. All right. And I'm starting in and around here, which is great. Sorry about the shaky camera. Whoa. And if I'm talking too fast, it's because I've had way too much Coca-Cola and energy drink today, because everything has been so slow around here, so I gotta, keep the times, gotta get ahead of myself. So, and I'm gonna try to keep an eye on the chat. Hopefully I can see it. On the Rails with Ryan, how's it going? Okay, so for this section here, I only got so far because I still have to do on the other side of this wall here. So I'm going to be doing grass from here onward, and then I'm going to go from here onward that way, and I'm going to fill it in as I go. Basic white glue, not a problem. And I've got 3 colors is what I do on all my stuff, and then I'll go back over and I will do static grass over top of that much later on. I just want to add the color for now. Yeah, that's just what I do. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to ballast this entire thing here. We'll talk about ballast. So in a sense, this is, again, the same old mindless stuff that I do. I love doing this stuff. This is my bread and butter, as I've often said. Between building kits, I also love doing scenery. And I love doing, yeah, I just love doing all this stuff. If I could just do this, that would be great. Okay. So I usually do, a good 2 to 3 feet at a time, usually about 2 feet. I don't try to get too ahead of myself here, and neither should you. I know, like, a lot of people, they, well, should I do that? Can I do that? Yes, you can. You can. And when you try, it makes all the difference. Okay. So I'm going to start with my blended turf, Woodland Scenics. It's just a green, nothing too special about this one. And because I'm right at the edge here, I put my paper just right there, and it catches anything that falls. And of course, it's like, there we go. Okay. And honestly, there's really not much to this. Okay, so that's the first color. I use 3. So I'm going to come in with the fine turf, the burnt grass. Okay, and again, using the shaker method. Now I usually like to do this right by the edge of the track, just because there's never real clean grass right there that's alive. And also, if you've got a huge wide open area where there's no trees giving it any shade, really, depending on the time of year, that sun will get pretty hot and it will burn the grass. Okay. And then I can always add a bit more of that just to tone it down a little bit if there was an area that it was just too much. And then, of course, I come back with a blended turf earth blend. This is almost like this reminds me of like a fall color. It's almost like a fallen leaves. It's a little bit bigger than the actual ballast itself. Yeah, really like that one. Okay, and then I can do a bit more of the green over top of that. There we go. Now you notice I've got lights on. That's all part of the, what I've been working on. Got lots of lights going here. In fact, the entire bottom level of my layout has lighting now, which is great. Oh, Dave, soon enough, man. Soon enough. You're basically there. You add, like, I literally added plaster cloth yesterday. I painted it brown last night. It was dry by today, I think. And now I'm already, turfing it. So it doesn't take much. A lot of people ask me, like, well, you get so much done in such a small amount of time. To be honest, I don't really realize how much I'm getting done in a certain time because I don't really time myself or anything like that. But I do set not so much priorities, but like, I make a lot of lists. This needs to be done. This needs to be done. Okay, what is more important? What can I do in like 10 minutes? What takes the longest? What can I do really quick? I got to go out today. I got to work soon. I do work even when I'm working. Like I'll be on break and I'm like, okay, I've got 15 minutes. What can I knock out here in 15 minutes? And because I literally work on the other side of this wall here, I'm not too far from the layout at all, ever. And the good thing about this is that, I really don't have to do too much here to, make it look complete. Because what's going to happen is that this grass is going to be done along here. And I'm going to do the grass on the inside here, like right here, and then ballast this. And like from here up to there, it's done basically. It's basically done. And then I work up on this one here. This track here isn't even glued down, but it will eventually. I have to work over on the other side there, and I haven't done too much of that because it's been my dumping ground for like so long. But I'm trying to fix that habit, and I've been trying to also keep things really clean as well. I'm trying to make positive changes like that. Voila. Okay. Cool beans. And then obviously the rubbing alcohol. And that will lock everything together. Cool. All right. Who do we have? Hey, James, how's it going? Huh. It's basically back there is the sticks. um, hey, Jerry, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. Again with the white glue. Now I'm not going right to the end here because I obviously need to add more plaster cloth and whatnot. So I'm not doing too much or too far that way. So we're working this way. And because these are technically considered mainline, technically this one up here is branch line, I'm going to give it my same ballast mix that I've been giving the rest of the layout, or at least the rest of the main level, I guess you could say. Cool. The thing that really ties it together between the tracks and the grass is the ballast. So if you ever do the, again, some people do ballast first and then the grass. I prefer doing it this way. I don't think there's a right or a wrong way for it, so I'm just going to keep doing it this way. But the thing that really brings it together is the ballast. I mean, it looks okay, right? It looks just like, green or whatever. But once you have the ballast going along there, it really, really looks good. Hey, Soar 3049, how's it going? I totally agree with you. And when you do have as many tasks as well, I mean, I have a bunch, so I make lists, like a little checklist almost. And I pride myself on checking off at least one of those things a day, whether it's a small thing or a big thing, doesn't really matter. But you feel really accomplished, and you feel like you've actually gotten a lot done when you do that. And the alcohol just helps to pull everything together there as well. Alrighty. You know what? I'm going to switch sides with the camera. I'm going to pull this back. I'm going to go sit on this side. Sorry for the reach. Whoop. And I got to pull this over here. I also want to show you guys a couple other things that I've been working on as well as doing this. Some things that you might find very handy. Obviously, you'll see I got a number of matches. And, well, I've been making railroad crossings instead of matchsticks. Are they perfect? No. Just like everything else I do. It's not perfect, but you know what? It's real hands-on, so I'm trying my best. You're done your blast furnace already? Jeez. That is 98% isopropyl and a thingy from the dollar store. Hey, Perth Rail fan, how's it going? Glad to have you back. It's tough, you know. Thursday nights, I mean, you know, it's not for everybody, right? But either way, right? I understand fully. People have lives and whatnot outside of this stuff, and I mean, I'm a dad, so my kids keep me very busy, and you know, there's always something. Definitely. I usually dedicate my Thursday nights to either doing a live stream myself or watching the guys, any of the other Third Rail Thursday crew. I can't miss those. And if I'm not doing that or watch my kids, I am working, which is the least fun out of all the things I do. But it pays the bills, so. Okay. Little by little, I'm getting there. I'm getting all the way around the corner here. Can't wait to ballast this. It'll be fun. I always see a lot of questions about ballasting too. Like, how do you do it? And what do you use? All that fun stuff. I know that I've done ballasting live before, but I don't think it was like in an area where it was really, you know, good to see it. You know what I mean? So at least this way, it's right up front and center. I'll show you exactly what I do. And that way, you can try it out. Just in case it's something that you've kind of mowed over, but you were like, I don't know. I'm switching between the three of them a lot. And it looks like I'm going really fast, but I'm just, again, mindlessly doing this. It's not really. Here we go. And I'll show you my crossing here in a minute because I'm almost at the crossing. And then you can let me know what you think. Oh yeah, James. I had a real eye-opener the other day. So I was pretty sure that I had all the steel mill kits. I was like, okay, I have them all. I'm good. I just got to build them. And, you know, it's perfection, right? Nope, I'm actually missing a kit. And it turns out the one kit that I have, or that I'm missing, that I need, it came out in January, where the rest of the kits were here like this past month or so. And at least 2 months. Like probably March. So it came out 2 months earlier. And that was prior to me being all like, yeah, I totally want to do the steel mill. So now I'm trying to find it because apparently it's sold out everywhere. So that's no good. So yeah, I'm missing one kit. It's that one with the stair set out the back, the blast furnace or something. Hold on, which is the one? I know what it is because I have it here, but I can't remember what it's called. Blower engine house. So yeah, the blower engine house, I am totally missing it, and I need to find it. But when I do, Or, even better, if anybody knows where I can find a blower engine house. Yeah, definitely the blower engine house. All right, cool beans, right? That wasn't too daunting, right? Just a straight shot. I'm gonna let that sit for a minute because the alcohol might bother the ballast when I go to put that down, but the alcohol will dry really, really fast. So I'm gonna show you all what I've been kind of working on here. Again, sorry for the shaking. So we've got, this is it's kind of like the road crossing here, and you can see that there's 3 tracks, and this part here is glued down. These are not. This is it's foam core, and I basically took a piece of paper, put it over it, did that line thing where you trace the track, cut it out, transferred it onto the foam core, cut the foam core out, and then I ended up cutting out, you can kind of see the edge there, both edges. That's for the ties, so that it goes flat right to the rail there, just like that, right? If it's glued down and weighted down. But then I'm like, okay, well, I can't do that. I have to make it look realistic. So then I took a bunch of matches, which this was something that Brandon showed me, Bub031. And he made some of these for me for my train station, but that's way over on the other side. So I've kind of taken upon myself here to try this out because I just so happen to have some matchsticks. And I'm kind of digging it. Gluing them was kind of a pain, but I got it done. And because it goes on an angle, I mean, this piece here and this piece here are straight, so it's not really an issue. This piece is kind of curved, so that's going to suck. I'll try my best. Now, they did, like, I glued them together, whatever. I can sit them in place, which is fine. I haven't really run anything over it yet, but I know that I do have to sand it down, and I'm probably, like, when I go to ballast, I'm only going to, like, you can see that I didn't do here, so I have to fill this in as well. This one's glued down, but I'm going to fill it in, and I'm going to kind of go up here with some of my plaster as well, and that's before I even glue any of these down. This will be last. But yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys that it's a different way of doing it, And I still have to make this one here, this here, and then like all these. It takes so long to chop and get all these to length and whatnot. Yeah, I keep burning through them. But yeah, that's what it looks like there. And I'll just have to sand it down, like I said, and then I'm gonna probably color it or stain it with something, just so it looks more realistic. But it is wood, so that works. And then I'll be able to, yeah, that'll be a road crossing there, and then that goes into the industry, branch line, main line. Fun. So with this here, obviously I got my wife to do the fascia. You can kind of see that. And there's my push button for the Walthers. Now I do only have one here because the one controls the two, and then I've got a hand throw for the siding here. I was able to get my Digitrax thing flush here. That's good. And you can kind of see my rock wall here, or both rock walls. Not that bad. I was surprised it actually worked out as well as it did on both sides. And these, just in case you don't know, these are from my old layout. These, yeah, my last layout, there was a huge rock wall and it was massive, but I was able to salvage them, and now they're on this layout. Again, it'll probably look a lot better when I use static grass, but this is just what I'm doing for now. I'll come back and I'll do that maybe on a lazy Sunday or something. I don't know. Whatever. But for now, it's green grass. And I finished plaster cloth up there as well. And I finished up here. And there was a bit, you can see, obviously see where I needed to fill in with plaster cloth here as well. But it's all done now. It's all done. So this entire section here, all the way around, whoop, ducking. You can see over here, I know it gets kind of dark because the lights aren't on the other side of the layout there, but over by the bridge, that's all done. And there's even ballast. I put ballast in there, and that goes right up under the bridge and right to the back of the layout where I worked on that one time live for everybody. Yeah. So I'm working on the beaver lumber as well here. I'm just kind of prepping things out for when I add the land here, and it's going to go up to the concrete platforms where you have the sheds and whatnot. So I've got that all taped off and stuff. I'm really in no rush to do that because I'm not a big fan of doing it. So I'm going to take my time with that. But for the most part, when we look at it all, like that's, you know, that's what we're going with here. We kind of go like that. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna weather the road a little bit. There's a couple of techniques that I've picked up over the years, and some involve just even taking a regular pencil, and you shave the pencil down so it's dust, and you put some on your finger, and you can make your little tire marks with even just your finger. But I'll show you guys that later on. It's such a messy thing to get into. Same thing with plaster cloth. Like I've done the plaster cloth live before. I'm not a huge fan of doing it. I don't want to waste your time with that stuff. I'll show you the cool stuff instead. Do I belong to the Steel Modelers group? I'm going to say no, only because I didn't know that there was one. So if I don't know that there is one, then I probably know that I'm not. OVR does not have any. That was obviously my first choice to check to see if they had it, but they do not. They're sold out. And, you know, I'm just, if I find it somewhere else, I'm just like, it's probably going to be like $50 more than it would normally be if I got it from Otter Valley. So not really thrilled to go and see if I can find it somewhere else and pay that much more. So Yes, please. Yeah, send me the invite. I'll get it at some point. No rush. Don't feel like you have to, like right now or anything. But yeah, I'll know that it's from you. Checking out the prototype photos are really neat. So. All right. And yeah, it's, when I take a look at this, got my track eraser here. Like, I sprayed this today, and obviously it's already dry, and I was able to get all this clean. And then I got grass all over it. So. This is not glued down. That's on purpose. It's based off of how I attach the track. So when I go to put another piece of flex track on the end of that, I'm going to make it straight. I'm going to solder it straight. And then I'm going to curve the whole thing right around that corner there. So, and then I'll be able to glue this down, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. This is fun. We're having fun. I feel like this was long overdue anyways. Because this is probably one of the oldest parts of my layout. And I'm just like, I can't wait to get all this done and get some bushes in here and et cetera, et cetera. So yeah. So this is from Bachmann. It's probably like $15 to $20 for one of those. I've heard mixed feelings about it. So if there's any naysayers out there, that's totally cool. To each their own. Yeah. Everybody tends to have their own way of doing things, and that's totally cool. And because I love to see everybody's version of that and how they do things, because it might be better than the way I do it. Might be more efficient or easier or less time consuming, right? It's true. Yeah, actually, I was watching the Flying Crow do the painting of like all that brown on his layout. Now I go back and forth like this because of the ballast that's in here. Mind you, there is. Oh, okay. Let's see if I can remember. Okay, so there's fine medium brown. Or no, it's not fine medium brown. It's fine brown, but it's like a light brown. And then there's fine gray, and then there is some medium gray. And the medium gray is a little bit lighter, so the brighter gray that you're seeing in here is the medium, obviously, and it gives it texture because you're using a couple of different sizes, right? And this is what I use for my main line all the way around. And I'm probably going to continue doing that all the way around. And then I've got just normal paintbrush. Well, normal is a term used very lightly here because it's like a dollar store brush. It's not like a $50 paintbrush or anything like that. But I go in one general direction and I push the ballast. And you know what? Like, I don't have a lot of patience for this stuff, but at the same time, I try to keep it as neat as possible, and I think that I do all right. I think. Not pro. No one's really complained or said, yo, you're doing it wrong. So I'll take it with a grain of salt, and I guess I'm doing it right, and it works out okay. Which, again, if somebody knows a better way, by all means. Okay. Then I go along the sides to expose the ties on the side, and it also pushes ballast down the little embankment as well. And I like to come back and do one of these, and I'll add a little seagull. It's my Bob Ross for you. I still remember when Justin and Dennis came and they brought their turbo, and the turbo coming around this corner, whew, gave me chills. Now this is super elevated. I know you probably can't tell because it's, you know, weird angle and stuff, right? But if you're like down at a certain level there, you can definitely see it. And when the Loco's going around the corner there, and it has that little, it's a slight tilt. It's nothing crazy. It's not like a 45-degree angle or anything, but it, you know, it's very subtle, and it just hugs the corner, and it's so nice. I love when people do the whatchamacallits, the banked curves, so super elevation. I used the same method as DG Model Works, Derek Glass, where he uses a strip of tape, and then he comes up about a foot and then runs another strip of tape on top, and another foot from the end, and runs another strip on top. And depending on how many strips of tape you use, that will determine the actual height. I can't remember if he said to use no more than whatever, but I think I use about three or four strips or levels of tape, and it works just fine, and I've never really had any issues with it. So just a little tidbit for y'all. Hey, Rail Artist, how's it going? PWRS. If I liked their ordering system, maybe. I mean, worst case, I'll get Brandon to order it because he can tolerate it. He gets it. But me, I mean, I went through that phone call with them, and I'm just like, why is it this complicated? Like, when you go onto the Best Buy website, and I'm going to use this as an example because I just ordered something from Best Buy. When you go on the Best Buy website, they don't need a Best Buy employee to call you to explain to you how to use the website. That's just craziness to me personally. Like, if it's that tough that you need somebody to call you just to work out the logistics, it's just not worth it. Mind you, some people get it. They're like, cool, like it. To each their own, right? Like, it's just one of those things. And, you know, I like their North American Railcar cars. I got a couple myself. But would I order direct from them? Nah. That's just me. I know it sounds like a rant. I don't rant. That's just me being logical. Shooting the breeze. Rant. Well, the thing about kids today is that they don't know anything about payphones. They didn't have the struggle of trying to find a quarter just to make a phone call. And that's my rant. That reminds me of one of those things. Show your age without telling me your age. I use payphones. In my house growing up, we actually had a rotary phone. And I've seen those videos where you give a kid a rotary phone and they have no concept of how to use it. And I think it's funny because it's like, to me, that's common knowledge, but you give it to somebody who has never seen one before in their life, and it's like, what is this sorcery? So it's funny. It's just funny. Yeah, I mean, who uses it to make calls? It's just fun to do the. My sound effects are terrible, as you can tell, but you get the gist of, what I'm putting through here. Now, I normally go over this with a 50-50 of the water and white glue, but you won't see me do that here tonight because I have to go and I would have to go and mix it and all that stuff, and I don't really. I'm gonna probably get all this done, continue it on, and then do all the gluing all in one day because I never really know how to set a certain amount, So I just do a large batch and then do it all at once. It's easier, more convenient. I'll just put it on the list. Now this here, I mean, I'm obviously taking my time with it mostly, but I'll come back and I might drop a bit more ballast in certain areas that maybe the dropper didn't really, like right here. It seems like there's no ballast there. Why is there no ballast? Well, the little plastic thing is not perfect. It's not perfection, but it gets the job done mostly. I mean, that's not terrible, right? Like, do you guys think that's terrible? It's not terrible. Hey, Highland Husky Mooch Squad, how's it going? Or the classic where the 8-track and the tape comes out and then you put a pencil in to turn it to fish it back through. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know the guy who invented dirt. Pagers, what are those? It's like you can tell someone's age just by what video game console they played when growing up. Let's see. I think I was about 3 when I got the Nintendo, like the original Nintendo. But I know there's going to be people that probably got the Atari and stuff like that. It's one of those things. Makes me wish I had kept my Game Boy, because if I had kept my Game Boy, then it would probably be worth something. Mind you, it wouldn't have been new in box. But still. So seeing those go for a pretty penny. Justin, knowing you, you probably have Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. You lost me after Advance. I don't know what would after be. What would be after that? Probably one of the colored ones, like well, there was Game Boy Color and stuff, but like they had like also different. Like I remember having a blue Game Boy at some point as well. Or was it red? I think it might have been blue. I'm not gonna lie. Sears. I see your Sears and I raise you a Kmart. Kmart? What are those? I'm just going to do that with everything now. So when I look at that on camera, I mean, it doesn't look terrible. Hey, Heath, how's it going? Oh, the party started a good hour ago, bud. Oh, yeah, James, did you get that via bus or what? Mine's en route, and I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure Mark got one too. I pitched the idea. I said, Mark, as far as prototypicalness goes, if prototypicalness is a word, probably. If it isn't, it is now. His layout is Ottawa. And, you know, he said, you know, his parents' house and whatnot is there. So it could be modern because he does run a lot of modern stuff. But he could even push that as far as, like, you know, early to mid 80s, which technically the Via Bus did run out of Ottawa. And yeah, and it was early 80s, I think it was. So K-Town got his. Yo, they are nice, eh? Well, I mean, most of the iconic replicas buses are super, super nice, and I've already got two of them. I've got a Go Transit and an Ontario Northland, so I think that the Via one is just like icing on the cake, you know. Uh-oh, the wife's here. The wife's here. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm on the ballast now, so. Getting little by little done. But it works. Ottawa to Kingston, mid 80s, yeah. I did a slight unboxing of the ONR bus, but you know what? I can totally grab it here. I can just show you. Whoop. If I can reach it without breaking something. Whoop. Okay. 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 Okay, so Perth Rough. It's a little dusty. It's okay though. There we go. Isn't she a beaut? Really nice charter bus. These also, I've seen these downtown Ottawa as well because I work downtown Ottawa, and they charter from there's a bus station right at Kent and something. downtown Ottawa. And yeah, basically, sometimes I'll see these, or I'll see them going up the highway past the town that I live in, all the way up towards Dave, and then it goes past Dave, and it goes up to North Bay. So really nice. Let's Iconic Replicas. If you haven't bought a bus from Iconic Replicas, it would probably would be worth checking out. It stops in Petawawa as well. Oh, there you go. And hey, it's Nick the Train Nerd. How's it going? No longer bus down here. Station was sold off to redevelopment a few weeks back. Well, that's too bad. So this is my Thursday night. What are you doing this Thursday? Well, I'm going to be shoveling very tiny little stones in between very tiny pieces of track, and I'm going to be gluing grass down. Oh yeah, that's cool. I mean, when you say it like that, it just sounds crazy. So I guess I can also use this time to talk about neat things that are happening with the channel and whatnot. Oh no, I should save it. I'm gonna totally save it. Gotta let the surprises happen, you know? Can't give it all away all at once. Hello, Ontario Railfan Productions. How's it going? K-Town, all right. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget, this Sunday, building kits again, Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, right here. And then next week, we're right here again for GVO After Dark. Hopefully we'll see you there, or we'll catch you on the replay. Catch me on the replay. So I had to go back up through the chat a little bit just to see Split Rock. That's hilarious. All right. If you've ever wondered if this is actually hard or not to do, it's not. Just kind of, take your time with it and try a couple of different things, Like a lot of people aren't a big fan of mixing ballast. I'm just particular, so I like trying stuff like that just to kind of add a bit more realism to it. Mind you, you can still find like a clean gray ballast out there, and that's totally cool too. I think it's based off of your layout or your preferences and whatnot, or you can always look up photos from the areas that your trains will be running, and then try to mix a couple of different colors to see what you can come up with. Doesn't need to be difficult, doesn't need to be anything crazy, but yes, as long as you're doing something, right? I'll go back and I'll clean the middle out a bunch. Like you can still see I'm pushing a bunch here, and comes from each side of it as well when I'm kind of cleaning the sides as well. It gets pushed back into the middle, and then got to move it right up the center here. So it doesn't take long to do this. It's just it gets very painstaking sometimes. There's a little bit of a repetition to it as well. I think that's why I usually do it all at once, just to get it over with. Am I excited to do this on level 3? No. Can I get away with not ballasting the top level of my layout? Probably not. Oh, and get this. So I'm building an elevated station, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to be productive, and I'm going to, get this done. So I rebuilt it because, again, something I salvaged from my old layout. And I'm like, okay, looks good. So I'm going to repaint it. Grabbed a can of spray paint, painted it. I was like, great, but it looks kind of weird. Turns out it's not the same tannish color that I used for the other side of it. So now I gotta wait and go and buy a new can. I forgot that I had ran out of that stuff. So, story of my life. Can't even go into a Home Depot. Jeez. That's another thing. I need like a couple of sheets of 4x8, and I only have I have a Mitsubishi Lancer, so you can't fit a 4x8 in there. So I need to cut down, to a decent couple of pieces, and which is fine because I can still make that work. But yeah, I can't even go into a Home Depot to get it cut down because everything is curbside right now. So can't do that until like the end of May. So if I'm planning on doing this part of my layout, I have to wait. I wish I could see the chat. Oh well. So even after I'm done doing this entire section here, I'm going to go over it and I'm going to check to see if there's any areas where it might not be as much ballast, because I do want like a good covering of ballast. And it has to go right down this embankment, right? Because it's elevated. That looks cool. I'm looking at it on the screen there, and looks neat. This will be ready to run a train through here in no time. I mean, the power's already hooked up, so I mean, I probably could anyway. Yeah, I think I would take it to about there, and then this is where it tends to get a little bit looser as far as with the ballast. I'm only doing this one, by the way, because I have to fill this in here, and I have to blend this in so that it's not like a straight drop here. So you guys can see it goes from like wood up to cork, and then then I've got my industry, and then I've got this fence. Now I had one, and then Mark got me one. There's a whole bunch here. Most of it's glued together. You can kind of see that. I had to do it in pieces here, and then this is going to go right around here to kind of lock in the industry. And if you're saying, Chris, that you're going to need a lot of fence, no offense, but yeah, I'm going to need a lot of fence. And I'm prepared to make that sacrifice. But yeah, either way, I'm sure it'll be fine, because Woodland Scenics did a great job with these kits, the fence kits, and I've used a couple of them. You've seen them on Mark's layout. Mark uses the same ones too. He really likes them, I think. I mean, I've never heard him say anything about, you know, how he hates them or anything, so I assume that he likes them. I think I'll bring it right up to here. Now I'm just doing it by hand with a little cup because it's easier to do a small section by dumping a little bit. Now, some people use spoons, which is also a good way to do it. But we got a lot of takeout, and that's free. I don't have to go buy a spoon. Although I know that there's a whole bunch up in the drawer, but I'm pretty sure the fam doesn't want me to use their spoons for my ballasting. I think that's a faux pas around here. Because then they'll be like, where's all the spoons? I'm like, they're downstairs covered in ballast. And I have to have that difficult conversation about what am I doing with spoons? Oh, there's a good question. Has any modelers, so I'm assuming all you guys, have you ever had a difficult conversation about what you do with someone who does not, you know, do any of this hobby stuff? Have you ever had those difficult conversations? I mean, it's, you know, it's not like it's an embarrassing thing. It's just, you know, some people just might not get it, you know, so, which, you know, is fine. It's not stamp collecting, which is also fine, you know, if you're into that. But still. All right. Let's take a look here. Ugh. Yeah, Great Lakes Rail Division. How's it going, by the way? Yeah, something like that. I mean, yeah, they might assume it's toys, but then, like, let's say, for example, you show them a picture of, like, you know, just even what you're seeing on the screen right now, and they're like, "Oh, um, I associate with all types of different people. For example, where I work with a lot of people, and usually when I'm in the office, I used to watch videos, everybody's videos, you know, all the time, and the odd person would walk by and be like, "Looking at trains? What you doing there?" And I'm like, "Yeah, basically, it's basically what I'm doing." But you know, I used to be in many different things. I used to play the war games, you know, like Warhammer, like Warhammer 40,000, you know, the Space Marines and all that stuff. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. Basically, just tabletop war game stuff. There's that, which I think is a little bit harder to explain than the model trains. You know, so. Chat's going way too fast, so I'm just playing catch up here. Yeah, Mark in the skateboard shop. I mean, like, yeah, I grew up skateboarding as well, and that's like a whole other breed of people. So, you know, it's crazy. You know, I've worked in many different places and many different jobs, and I've made a lot of interesting friends along the way. You know, it's easy when you don't discriminate. My wife actually claims that she knew nothing of this until after we got married. Which technically, if I'm being honest, when we first started dating, I was skateboarding every single day. You know, I was outside and doing all that stuff, and it was a different time. Um, oh, totally, 100%. Like since I was 13, I skateboarded and snowboarded every single day. Well, not snowboarded every single day. There's summers too, you know. But yeah, I'm sure that would explain the tattoos at least, right? Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah, there you go. Split Rock, Warhammer 40K stuff for the guys at work. Did okay, so you painted them, but you didn't play the Warhammer 40K? Because I was gonna say, what army were you? And then we were gonna have a moment there, but if you just painted it, then you probably, you know, whatever. But yeah, no, like my wife claims that I did not mention anything about the train thing until after we got married. But technically, um, our son was born right around the time that we got married. And as soon as I found out I was having a boy, I pulled out all those trains and, you know, I was like, let's do this thing. I've got a kid now. So, but yeah, it's definitely done a lot of interesting hobbies and stuff. And I think that's like when I was in high school, I took a lot of woodworking and welding classes, and that's why I can do this. And it doesn't really, you know, seem like much because I've built many different things over the course of my life. Mostly skateboard ramps, not gonna lie. My mom was not thrilled whenever I brought home a new skateboard ramp from school because they would just get bigger and bigger and bigger. In fact, I'm pretty sure the first YouTube video of me ever being on YouTube is actually a skateboard video. So if anybody can ever find that video, kudos to you. See, when they did the whole, or when we did the whole cringy video thing, they shouldn't have done my old video. They should have found my my old skateboard video, and they could have been all like, "Oh man, that is cringy. What is wrong with you?" That would have been funny. And just in case you have no idea what I'm talking about, we did a roasting. We roasted each other's old videos a few months back between Mark, Dave, and I, and it was hilarious. I don't think I've ever laughed, cried so hard in my entire life. And it was epic. And I'm sure that they would agree. So I want this to be more of a gradual kind of slope. There we go. Some areas just need a bit more, TLC, just to make it look a little bit more like when the train's going through here, they're going pretty fast, they're pretty heavy, they're shaking, and the rocks are all like, ooh, and they're moving around, and if it's on a slope, if it's on a hill, they move down. They also kind of compact as well, like the ones on the bottom. So I'm trying to really give it the look here. I mean, I'm pretty happy with that. You know what I mean? Like, there's like, I'm gonna try something. Whoops, sorry. I don't have my system plugged in, and I don't have a locomotive handy. But I got some O&R cars. Yeah, you can kind of hear nice. They didn't derail. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel pretty good about that. I don't even know if I can make this shorter here. Yes, I can. Sorry about the tilt. And then all I got to do is lift this up. So I wonder if you can see can you see the lean there now? I don't know if you can see it or not. It's fine if you can't. It's Drew Dudes Model Trains used to do some skateboarding as well. Yeah, mine, like, between my back and now my knee, yeah, it took a toll on me as well. Like, I wasn't doing anything excessive, but I mean, you jump down a flight of stairs enough time, you land the wrong way a bunch of times. Like, I had a concussion when I was in high school, smoked my head off the pavement. Yeah, a little bit of everything, but It takes a toll on you, takes a toll on your body, but I mean, at the time, totally worth it. Totally worth it. That would be neat to have like a ballasting device. Well, I mean, I sometimes I literally feel like, you know, the game of operation. Like I'm pretty sure right now most people will go to a doctor and they will say, "Hey, what's wrong with me? Here are my symptoms." Me, I'll write them down and then I'll Google it. So I'm just like, it's probably water on the knee. I'm guessing is what I have, but the sound of or the thought of somebody draining my knee does not make me want to go to the doctor any faster. So I have no idea. Thanks, Mark. I try. It's it takes a while, but you know, worth it. Oh wait, maybe you can see the curve here. I just wanted to be able to show you guys the elevation. Oh, you know what? Maybe I do have a. I do. Okay. Let's see this one. Okay, at some point here, it then starts to start the curve. But I'm not sure what point that is. Okay, yeah, probably about there. It has a mean lean to it. I'm actually coming up on a year now, Heath. In July. July will be 1 year ago that I moved in. And I'm already starting to build, as you can see here. I'll just kind of lift it up. Way up. I've got my modules up on the 3rd level for there. And I'm kind of making my way around. I ran out of wood, but so I've got these 2 modules here to do. And then the back, and then right along this wall here for the top. You can kind of see I came off the helix there. There is the retaining wall. You see that little retaining wall right here? That's the wrong color. I hate that. See the rest of the retaining wall, which is right there with the stairs? That's the color it needs to be. So I have to repaint all that. And my bench work basically gets all the way to there. I have to go around that corner. But yeah, and then come along the back. And then, yes, that's my 2nd level. And then I've got all this worked out already, all this stuff here. But, you know, not yet. Not there yet. And then this industry is ready to be done here. You can see my tank cars are ready to go. Been working on my buildings a bit. I've got my rusted tanks there. Rusted a little bit on the top. And of course, the bridges back here. I know you guys have seen those. Lowell, you had your knee drained before. You know, how bad is that? Like, I went to school with a guy, fellow skateboarder. He had his ankle drained because he had rolled his ankle too many times, and he did not look like he was having fun at all. So how bad is it to get the knee drained? Oh, John Concealing. Okay, cool. So it is somewhat noticeable then. That's great. I was worried because, when you put the track down and you're looking at the track, it's fine. But then you put all the scenery around it, and like, can you still see, the lean after that's all done? And it's like, you really don't want all that work to go, you know, to nowhere, basically. I'm pretty stoked with the work here in this area that I was able to get done, because it's just another thing off the list, right? I mean, I'm sure they're my wife's giving me the sass now. It's a good thing I wasn't talking about things that I bought. Oh, you should lead with that next time, Steph. Say, this is said with love, but you're a big baby. I'll be excited to see a train coming from all the way back here, all the way around. And I think I'm going to put some crossing gates at my little section here, or at least, if I can find some flashers, some little flashing lights. Dave will help me with that, won't you, Dave? I don't even know if he's still there or not. It's fine if he's not, but I'm probably going to bug him. Be like, Dave, these lights need to flash. Can you help me? Your meniscus. I'll have to Google that. I'm assuming that's in your knee. That's okay. I know where he lives. I'll find him. Dave. Well, I really hope that's not the case. But I can tell you that one knee is like way larger than the other knee, on a bad day. Needles, I'm indifferent about needles. Like a needle as in like a shot or whatever, I don't ever look forward to that. But obviously you guys have seen, like, I've got tattoos up and down my arms, back, neck, whatever. I'd sooner get a tattoo any day over just a regular needle. I think it's the fact that after sitting there for like 3-4 minutes, that entire section of wherever you're getting tattooed becomes numb anyways. So you don't really feel it after that. But yeah, the other needles, I go like, in you. Gross. Oh, that does not sound like a good time there, Adam. So I've got multiple sections here that I've been working on or that I did work on. And now basically all I'm doing is that I'm bringing them all together to make one complete rounded scene. So as you guys know that I did the entire section over here, and I've done the front section here. So all I got to do is all of this here. Well, I'm going to get a little bit closer and I'll show you. I got to blend this a little bit better with plaster. Let's see if I can do this. Yes. Okay. So I have to blend around that rock wall there with the plaster just so that it, it fits a little bit better. And then I just did the entire back section there, so that all has to become green. I could probably do that now. Yeah, let's do that now because I can. Thank you. And you know what? You can totally see that crack right down the middle. It's like the butt of the whole thing here, where this was actually, you see that line right there? That was the end of one module, and this is where the next module started. And I had made it so that the rocks go together, but then I could also take the modules apart, right? That makes sense, right? But depending on which angle you're looking at it from, you can't even see it there. Also, what I want to do once I have things a little bit more solidified around it, I'm going to go over it with a white dry brush. I used the three colors, yellow ochre, burnt umber, black ink, watered them down, and did it right over all of them. You can obviously see the bits of each color there, and certain areas are darker and whatnot. I think I've got a video on it somewhere. You can check it out if you want. Yeah, so basically I did all that and took it all from the last layout. So I'm kind of blending it in here to this one, almost like a transplant. Take it out, put it in here, and et cetera, et cetera. And the plaster cloth is up, obviously, there. You can kind of, see that. My very talented wife obviously painted the fascia, which I really appreciate. I've got more for her to do, so if she's not in bed yet and she wants to come down and paint more fascia, put her to work. No, I'm just kidding. She's had a long day. But yeah, no, like the rock wall, it actually, yeah, it turned out a little bit better than what I thought it would. And even though it was tough kind of blending it, it'll make for some great pictures in this general area. So limestone. Okay, right on, yeah. I've done a couple of different ones, like Brian, who is hold on, let me think. Inked Rails. He made me a whole bunch of rock molds, and that's where these came from. So yeah, definitely I didn't want to waste them when I scrapped a large part of my old layout. So that's why I brought them here. And I thought, well, I could try to implement them somewhere. And I had such a difficult time with this area. And then I seen it one day. I seen it in my mind. I'm like, okay, let's do this. Let's put this here. I got that Chooch tunnel portal with the retaining walls. I'm like, okay, let's combine that, So. Oh, you're clocking out. Oh, okay. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, no, there's lots for you to do down here, Steph. Come on. Mark can't come over and help me, so got to put you to work. And the kids are too sloppy. I can't have them do it. They'd have like little faces, all over. It wouldn't be solid black like that. There'd be, handprints and fingerprints, and they're no Picasso, let me tell you. I tried a different on an old layout, and yes, I'm referencing multiple, much older layouts now, where I did use the just regular plaster, and I'll show you the plaster because I got a bucket here. Sorry, this stuff right here. It's like $10, and this thing's heavy too. Like there's a lot in here. It's $10 from the Home Depot, and basically I gooped it onto a wall section, and I gave it about 8 hours, and it was still workable after 8 hours, but it wasn't as, I don't want to say runny, but it was still a little bit to work with. It was like a thicker Play-Doh at that point. And I carved it and everything, and I made it look more like Blast Rock, which, again, obviously you'd have to take a look, but they basically drill down and they put dynamite, and then they light the fuses, and then it obviously blows up the rock. So you have to carve like lines like straight down as far as with the drilling and all that. I don't know, it was a whole ordeal, and it looked okay, I guess, but I mean, it didn't look like this. Like that's rock. That's a rock wall. So, hey SF, Ratton, and Zed, how's it going? The green tub. I don't know about the green tub. There's another stuff that I've used. It comes in a much smaller tube, and it's a white container with a pink lid, and the actual stuff is like a pinkish purple, but then when it's dry, it's white. It definitely doesn't go as far as this stuff does, but it's also pretty good. And at least when it dries, you can tell when it's dry because it's no longer pink. Okay, so what I'm going to do, or at least what I'm going to try to do, is I'm going to try to do that back section. Now, if anybody happens to leave, then, obviously, thank you for watching and whatnot. I have to go like over there, which is far away from the computer, so I won't see. So, so I got my glue, got my grass, got my brush. And I'm going to kind of put you. Oh. Oh, really? That's it? Guess I have to open these legs again. There we go. That seems like a decent angle. Alrighty. Still working away at this. Whoop. Almost dropped my brush. This time I'm going to do it a little bit different. I'm going to go further, and then I'm going to seal it all together with a couple of colors. Because this is such a larger area. And if you guys are interested in where I got my LED strips from, I did get them from Amazon. And if you really want to know which ones I got, you can always send me an email, and I'll send you the link. I know that there was a couple of people that actually got them. Dave showed me, and then when I had done a video, I know a number of people had asked already. But if you're thinking about getting LEDs and you like the look of these and the brightness and all that stuff, because it is adjustable too, right? Like I can adjust it. I can make it like this is the brightest setting, but I can make it less bright, if that makes sense. The intensity. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. I can turn down the intensity. The email that you would want to send it to is gvoafterdark@hotmail.com. It's actually quite normal. I get lots of emails from different viewers, and I always love hearing from you guys. So go ahead and reach out if you ever have any questions or concerns, or if you have any requests for videos that you'd like me to make, or how-tos and all that. Always looking for new ideas, new video ideas as well. So now I'll throw on some of this. Now there's some sections where it's might not be getting to, so I like to do one of these. Take this and now I've got some very cool trees that are on the way right now. And I'm going to do up this section with those trees when they do show up. So you'll be able to see that happen when that happens. I'm probably going to put a tree right in front of that because that sucks. Or a large bush. One or the other. One or the other. And of course, I'm going to seal this in after with the isopropyl as well. But I'm going to keep going along here because there's still more to go. And I'm actually going to switch sides here with you, so you guys will still be able to see. Bring that down a little bit. Oh, wait, can go down a little bit. There we go. Okay, right in there. Again, I'll be going over all this with static grass as well. So it's going to look way better with the static grass, but I don't do it completely. Like I don't do the static grass everywhere. I usually highlight. I tend to highlight with it. And it's going to pull the scene all together. Okay, so Just want to add a bit more green. Okay, so now I'm just going to go over and spray all of that, and we will lock it all in. Hey SMT, how's it going? No happy trees tonight, but I did add a seagull somewhere there, and a lot of grass. Hey Tyler, how's it going? I'll show you guys what I was working on earlier. This is just like the back section, and I'm just gonna lock this in here with the isopropyl, because that's all good. Now, yes, I am getting the backdrop wet, but the isopropyl actually dries clear. It doesn't leave any marks on the back, and because it's just a spurts, it's not like I'm soaking it. It doesn't do anything to the backdrop, so it'll dry clear. Doesn't do anything, and it, obviously it works well on the the ballasted, or not the ballast. Well, I use it on ballast, but it works good on the grassed area. So you'll see on the backdrop there, like it has been spurts, but it's not gonna hurt it at all. So, yay! You know what? I think I might do the middle section as well. I'll show you guys what I was working on first, and then I'll come back and I'll do that middle section. So earlier tonight, when I started, I think it's 8 o'clock. This was all brown here, and I basically did this entire section from back here all the way up around to about right here. So I did all the grass, and I did the grass right along there, and then I ballasted all of this where the train is sitting, but this is not glued down yet. So getting there, it's getting there. Yeah. Just putting in the hours, you know what I mean? So oh yeah, and SMT, if you're still there, huge congrats on 30K. That's huge. super huge congrats, man. That's awesome. Thanks, Tyler. Okay, so I'll do that middle section. So go back over here, and so there's this little section right in here, and it's right between the rails, right between the tracks. I mean, it'll mostly get covered up with ballast, but I want to put a bit of greenery just in there, just down the middle a little bit, because if anything comes through, and let's say it doesn't get completely filled with ballast, then at least I know that there's grass underneath it. Because it's a curve, right? So it's not, oh, my brush. Okay. I don't know where my brush came from, but it fell down and I caught it. Sort of. Yeah, take it. Oh, I totally got glue on me. Lame. Okay, like that's literally all I needed was just a bit of glue down the center here. Fills it in nicely, and not that anyone will ever see it, but I'll know it's there. So like this section here is too wide to do like ballast from one track to the next. There's definitely going to be a bit of a gap in there. It's because of the radius of the curve. Good thing is I can ballast that outside curve. I'm just lightening up that burnt grass there with some green. There's a little bit in there. And then I come back. I'll be heavy with this. Okay, there we go. And my spurts bottle. There we go. Getting all turned around here. Whoop. Sorry. Okay. I'm going to do a little section here. It's not going to go all the way, but it's should be all right. I'll probably go to about right here. You don't get much in here, but it still goes a long way. And I get them from the dollar store, so get them as I need them. Where'd that paintbrush go? Oh, there it is. I've actually gotten quite a bit done here, even just tonight. I had a list as well for this, and even just getting this grass down is pretty decent. There's another section on the other side, like that goes around the helix. That's all ready to go too. I'll show you that after, but I'm not going to do that tonight. But I'll show you that one after. We need the other thing of glue. There it is. I've got this tiny section left. I try not to get any glue on the backdrop for obvious reasons. Cool. Maybe we might just sprinkle a bit more green on there just to make it a little bit more lively. Just up on here. You can really see it change colors overall based off of how much or how little you put of each color. Voila. Now I'm leaving this section here. You can obviously see it's brown and then it goes to the road. I'm going to put some of that plaster stuff coming up this way. It's going to go over the road and then down on the other side of the road. And I'm going to make it look smooth, and then that way it'll look like a concrete finish, and then I'll be able to paint over it and stuff. This is really just to, you can't really see it, but I put little details like this into the way that I model anyways. So if I move these, I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. I don't know. But the road itself, I raised it up back here, and then it kind of comes down, and then it goes up because it's obviously has to go up and over. So just the way that the road goes, like if I was to put a car on here, it would probably roll this way and then be right in the center here. The road's not flat. The real world is not flat. So I do stuff like this. Even just this here raises it up, and this level is different than this level. This level is different than this level, etc., etc. So I try to put different elevations all over, and I incorporate that all over. Like something like this here, like I normally do cork road bed on here, and instead of putting it down, I keep it flat so I'm not worrying about elevation on a industry, and I just put it right onto the cork sheet for here, but that's still, it looks like it's level. But yeah, but even that is a different level than this level, and then this goes downgrade, and then they all meet up down here. So just an area like this, it requires like so many things, and yeah, it takes a lot, but worth it. Definitely worth it. And once that's ballasted and I finish this section like right here, it'll look decent or okay-ish, and then I'll put more of these road or the wood rail crossings here. Probably put a crossing sign here and a crossing sign here, so you know the arms, and then that way got the traffic going through, and then side industry. Should be good. Should be good. I like to plan way ahead as well. I need to. I feel like I need to. You have to know where you're going, right? Ugh. The dollar store does have a lot of the good scenery supplies. I've even seen cork sheets there. I mean, I'm not sure of the thickness of those, but basically, I did a GVO After Dark one time where I went to the dollar store, well, prior to the show, and I spent about $20 or something, and I got a whole bunch of different things that you can actually use for your layout, and different things that you can save. For example, that squirt bottle that I used, it's from the dollar store. So just one of those many things. The paintbrushes, I got a pack of, I don't know how many came in this pack here. That's from the dollar store. I think it was like $2.50, $3, and you get all these paintbrushes. The threads do not come out of them, so that's decent. And I just use them for ballasting or glue or whatever, you know, whatever I need. And it works. And I didn't spend an arm and a leg to make that happen. All right, Harrison, again, congrats. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you soon. Yeah, it definitely is. There's a couple of different aspects of that. Seeing it powder down is one, and then the other is just being happy that it's done. I don't know if you've ever seen the static grass being done, but that's really cool too. I did the static grass on another part of my layout at one point there, and yeah, I think I did that live. Ooh, I'll show you guys. So I had to sit down for a minute because, you know, Father Time is taking its toll. Anyways, I'll show you this here. Ooh. Sorry. There's Alexis. And here's the other section. So basically, obviously you can see the fascia, the helix. This whole thing here is my helix. And I've basically incorporated the land from over there, and it comes in over here, and it's going to go right around. So all this has to be turfed and stuff, and then my wife is going to paint that black for me. And I've got all these switches here, which they're not fully in yet. It's not fully wired yet, but those control power to the track up there for my second yard. And yeah, so that's just another area there that I got to turf. I did all that plaster cloth yesterday as well. When I do plaster cloth, I do it all at one time. It's so messy, and I'm not a big fan of it, but I have to do it, right? It has to get done. So, but yeah, so it's just another section that I'm working on, and I am happy that it's done. Oh, geez, I hope not. I'll probably call it at 10:30 because yeah, we're pushing 10:30, and it's already been 2.5 hours. Jeez. But yeah, so we got quite a bit done: ballast and grass, turf, and stuff. Yeah, I guess I'll save that for another day, and then yeah, we'll be able to get even more of this done because I'm trying to fill up my time with things that I can do. So obviously, like I said, I got like a whole bunch of kits that I need to build still, and I'll be doing those Sunday morning, and that'll be my Sunday morning content. Not as good as watching Saturday morning cartoons, but hey, it's it's getting there. But yeah, so other than that, so yeah, I'm gonna post this one more time. So I've got the GVO After Dark store, and if anybody wants to buy anything, then that's again, that helps me out a lot. It goes towards the layout and whatnot, and also you get cool swag, which is fun. And then other than that, Sunday mornings, 10 a.m. well, Eastern time. I'll be doing the kit builds, and I've got a couple of guests that are going to show up. But if anybody else wants to join, James, if you want to go live and you can work on one of your kits too. I don't know if you're down for that, but if you want to join us, then obviously everybody's more than welcome. I'll post the link in the morning there in the chat, and if you want to join, feel free to. And then I usually go till about noon, 2 hours. You can get a decent amount done in 2 hours, I guess. And then from there, we're back here next Thursday for GVO After Dark. The guys will be here. We'll be making fun of each other, and I've got a whole bunch of stuff that's going to show up in the mail eventually, and yeah, it's going to be good. Other than that, really wasn't. I appreciate everybody coming out and watching and cheering me on as I get all this done. This is probably more fun to look at than me. I'm just going to turn it around. Look at all that stuff we did. Yay. Yeah, you'll be able to yeah, if you join the thing and then you just take the link, you'll be able to join, and then you can use your phone if you want. Absolutely. But we're getting there. There's lots getting done, and I couldn't be happier. Run the train. The problem is that I have to crawl into my Helix to plug in the power, and my knee is not doing well today, which let's call it a design flaw. My knee didn't hurt as bad when I built it. So no, but next time I will run a train next time, I promise. And you can hold me to that. At least this will all be dry, and I'll feel better about electricity going through it when it's dry. But yeah, I just sprayed it all with alcohol, so all good, James. All good. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of your videos as well. And I know I've got a bunch that are coming up myself, and then So mail call and all that, and then early in May, probably the first week, I will have a full layout update at that point, and we'll be able to see everything that I've done, except for just, bits and pieces here and there. So, but until next time, until Sunday morning. Oh wait, what is today? Yeah, Sunday morning. Until Sunday morning. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Go VR, Go Home, and this was Third Rail Thursdays. We'll see you Sunday. Bye, everybody.